Attack. Attack of the show. Attack.
Welcome to Attack of the Show. I'm Kevin Pereira.
I'm Alice Basic. We are coming to you from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles.
On the show today, James Cameron is in our studio. Yes, the James Cameron. Someone get hit with a chair, real hard like. You'll see it. Plus, an amazing living photograph.
Yay!
That was it. And an amazing injured mascot. Yes, it's the broad swath of Americana that you've come to expect from around the net.
There you go. And then Chris Hardwick's back with a Santa sack of Gadget Prawn. Today is the HP Mini 311 netbook. It's just 3.2 pounds, but has an 11.6-inch screen. It's another gift for less than $500. And then today's AOTS classic is an Army of One commercial from a galaxy far, far away. It'll make you want to enlist, even with all the hardships and the dying.
Oh, yeah. Still worth it.
Now, Around the Net went everywhere this week, including to the local sports game to watch a mascot basically try to paralyze himself. Wasn't pretty.
Well, I don't know if that was what he was going for. I think he was trying to dunk, but either way.
I don't know.
And then we're actually taking you to a museum where we enjoyed an amazing living photograph. It is lowbrow high art, and you are welcome. Ashton's a good one.
It was cool pics.
It's cool pics. I get it. Coolio. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Ashton would have been good, though, too.
Hey, listen, dunking a basketball is hard and should really only be attempted by the tallest and most richest of people.
Yes. All right. See if you guys can spot the stupid in this clip. The ref's reaction was kind of my reaction when you got shot by the paintballs.
What?
I was just like, oh.
Just complete indifference?
Watching. This is part of the show.
Didn't
right?
you bolt from makeup to the studio to watch me get shot?
Seconds.
Yeah,
I was like, Kevin's getting shot by paintballs. Ran over here. I mean, okay, wait. But who do you call when that happens to your mascot? Do you call a hospital or like animal control or something like that?
No, apparently they didn't know either, so they just kind of didn't call anyone and just looked on with mild amusement.
So, the team behind YouTube user CDT Crew have done the internet a favor by posting compilations of some of the strangest videos ever created.
Yeah, which is saying a lot on the internet.
Yeah, on the internet. Oof.
Today's number 3 item is a shining example of what happens when awful acting meets even worse special effects. This is a clip from the 1987 low-budget action flick Deadly Prey.
Bitch.
Impression of one of my ex-boyfriends, I think. From the look on his face.
Wait. Were you banging Commando?
You know, anyways, from the look
No, not anyways. That wasn't an answer to the question. Were you dating a guy that made that noise? Like, was that his finale?
Maybe.
Did he release dubs and go, oh, I'm finished now?
Yes.
Sandwich time. Oh.
He did, actually.
Really?
You know, anyways. From the look on his face, he enjoyed that scalping just a little too much.
Yeah, no, I get it. He had an orgasm while slicing a dude's face off. I got it, yeah.
Yeah.
Today's number 1 item is an epic contest between 2 giant devices intended to move things around. We got a tractor-trailer truck.
Awesome.
And a freight train.
Even more awesome.
Yeah.
I already know who's going to win.
Who?
The train.
I haven't told her the best part yet, though. You might want to revise that.
Okay.
Somewhere in this video, you actually hear the classic fail horns from The Price is Right.
Then I would like to change my answer.
I thought so.
We all win.
No one's getting a showcase today.
I say at least nobody's house was on the back of the moving truck, right? You know, those
Well,
houses
yeah,
on
but if
bus trucks.
someone's house was back there, you could at least like hop onto their new boxcar home.
Ah.
So that's making lemonade. You know what I'm saying? You get to ride the rails, see the country, stab a drifter. I don't mean someone who gets cars sideways. I mean like a homeless person.
Today's number 2 item comes to us from a recent web discovery, Day Job Orchestra. Last week, we showed their masterful nonsense redub of an old Star Trek The Next Generation episode, and it was awesome.
It was amazing. And to thank us for highlighting them to the world at large, the Day Job Orchestra has done us a huge, huge honor. They decided to redub Olivia and myself.
So I'm a zombie. I'm moving to Afghanistan.
You're so Tuesday.
Awesome. I have no idea where I am. Let's have some popcorn, bitches. Now I'm gonna touch my head and bend over.
Just hand me the apple juice. You ever do it with a friggin' mongoose? Shh, sorry. Do these in the bathroom. Hey, what up?
Well, I think we should go to 40 bathhouses. My other shoe is a Porsche. What's Japanese for moon the French? 6x4.
I like Subarus and Day Job Orchestra as if. Me shocked. What if fat old people hand me ice and... Wait, I'm not conscious.
I wish you'd sing.
That was a haiku? Hey, everyone. This is sign language for radish.
Zip.
Whoa! Sign language for radish.
I want to know how they actually knew you were a zombie.
They've done their research.
There you go.
Coming in at number 1 today is a stunning living photograph.
Yeah. Not since the extraordinary paintings of Dutch still life master Jacob Gillig. Jacob Gillig fans here? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, not since his work has a frozen image so captivated its audience. Now, we want to present a modern masterwork. This is actually our number 1 video, yes. It's called Chris with Teacup. Still ahead, Blair Herder travels to jolly old England to meet the cast and crew of James Cameron's Avatar.
Oi! Coming up right after this.
Hey, Scott, the aliens in it, governor. Hey, governor.
Takenbock. Attacken Spezialbier.
Blair Herder recently spent like 400 hours on a plane to meet the cast and crew of Avatar in London.
Yeah, he said it was worth it both for getting to see Cameron's 3D masterpiece early and for the free in-flight booze.
After years of hype, the film that promised to revolutionize the movie-going experience is here in stereoscopic IMAX 3D, and it's unlike anything you've ever seen.
This is our land!
Avatar is a sci-fi fantasy about a paraplegic whose consciousness is projected into a homegrown alien in an effort to learn their ways. But in this close encounter, mankind is the enemy.
You should not be here.
Tell me about the revolutionary 3D technology that you've brought to this film.
The big breakthrough on that for this film was what we call image-based facial performance capture. We put a kind of a skull cap on the actors that had a little boom that came around, kind of like a concert mic. It literally captures by imaging every tiny movement of the face, even the tongue and the teeth and all that sort of thing. And you can't do that with a marker-based system. We were getting a much, much richer data set of what the actor was doing on a second-by-second basis.
They sent me here to learn your ways.
What are you saying, Jake?
Should I feel guilty because I'm so attracted to your avatar?
No, not at all.
I'm like an animal, and that is very illegal. So that wasn't CG. You actually did all of those movements. It's like you kind of relearned how to move through an environment. Tell me what that experience was like.
I was working with this amazing choreographer from Cirque du Soleil, and we wanted to establish a certain unique way of them walking given their anatomy.
Every frame of the performances are shot on a camera that reflects the actor's avatar and their virtual environments in real time through the viewfinder.
You push the envelope pushed back. I thought that was a great quote. And everything we see in Avatar, like flying the Banshees, we built a Banshee and you fly it. If we're swinging from vines, well, you climb up this big terrain that they build and you swing on vines.
We spent 2 years of research and development getting this process working before we started with the actors. We call it the Fusion camera system. It's a 28-pound camera that I can actually hand hold and has all these servos and functions to control the stereo space. Things constantly kind of breathing and moving while you're operating it.
I obviously have to talk about that final battle sequence. What was it like? Because obviously it is CG, a lot of it, but a very physical, real performance.
Yeah, you are jumping off a rig onto another rig, popping out the grenades and throwing them in. And the machine guns, and Jim does action better than anyone.
Do you lose anything between a regular theater experience and IMAX?
Well, interestingly, what we're finding is people are coming out saying, I can't describe what I just saw. IMAX is literally a bigger way to see it. The screen will be much larger than your field of view. You'll even have to look around in the picture. If you want to, just a kind of regular viewing experience, but in 3D, the digital stuff is great.
My brother's fly now, with me!
A total assault on the senses, Avatar is an immersive experience that will have you longing to return to Pandora long after the credits roll. You won't believe your eyes.
James Cameron in studio later. And spoiler, he hits one of us with a folding chair. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah,
also, Doug Benson is in studio today.
Hey, Doug.
What's up, dude? What are you doing here?
I've got a special coming out on G4.
You do? That's so cool.
Yeah.
When is it?
Cool. I don't remember, so I thought I'd come down here and just hang out until, till it airs. That way I won't miss it.
That's one way to fix your problem, I guess.
What?
Really working? You're really working those mallows there, aren't you?
I like to stack them big and long and.
Wow, Doug.
On the thing.
Classy. Listen, I'm not going to judge. Do what you got to do. Just try not to make a lot of noise when
We're
you're
doing
back
the
there,
show.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just, they turned the heat off in my place, so I just need somewhere to hang for a while.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, I'll be quiet, though.
Sure. Now it's time to... I'm trying. Now it's time to see a gaming netbook that might actually be able to fit in your holiday stocking.
Go, Gadgetron!
Hey, everybody. Netbooks are the... Thanks. Netbooks are the easiest...
They're like, hey, yeah, good to see you
They're
too,
bored
dude.
of me now.
Let's go.
Netbooks are the lightest, easiest way to get through airport security during the holidays.
Yeah, so you're saying I could keister this?
Yes, you absolutely could. And they're so cheap, if the TSA breaks one, it's easy to replace, even in your keister. HP wants you to know that good gifts really do come in small packages, like the Mini 311 Netbook. Weighing in at only 3.2 pounds, it packs an 11.6-inch HD LED screen and the NVIDIA Ion graphics card for an unrivaled entertainment experience. You also have the option for an 80-gig solid-state drive, 3 gigs of RAM, and an external Blu-ray drive, all starting at $400. Slide it into your cake shaft and you...
But I'm just worried about, when popping through the metal detectors...
I think we're back on the...
311 is a great band and a pretty sleek netbook here. It's actually only 1.2 inches thin. It weighs 3.2 pounds. There's no weird protrusions from an extended battery. It's nice and sleek. But does the overall look and the feel actually impress you, Chris?
It absolutely does, Kev. It's not really symmetrical right here. You see a little bit of a rise in the back there, but that's good for when you sit down to type.
Not so good for slipping into a messenger bag.
I like having things that are symmetrical in my bag and fit in evenly.
Right.
But you know what? That's just because I have OCD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
We're good.
And then here on the top, I'm not crazy about about this. There's a lot of swirly stuff on here. It looks like the cover of a Lifehouse album, and I don't like that. But I guess apparently you can get other designs.
Yeah. You can express your individuality through a bunch of prefabricated tops.
If you want, yeah, you can absolutely do that.
We've liked HP's netbooks, their keyboards in the past, but the touchpad has always needed work. Did they make any drastic improvements, or is it?
Absolutely not.
Great.
The touchpad is the same glossy feel as the rest of the laptop, so your finger's constantly sliding off the edge. You never know when you're on it or you're off it. Come on, finger, work with me.
How dare you look down with your eyes and see if you're touching it.
The mouse clicks also feel cheap, and they're kind of hard to press down. You don't always strike properly, and then the cursor is constantly flying by stuff. It's hard to be really precise, and I did adjust in the keyboard slower and faster, but it still didn't.
Still too sensitive?
Yeah. We're short on time, so I'm breezing through this as quickly as I possibly can. The keyboard, though, is still pretty good.
Chris, breathe. You're changing color.
It's 92% full oxygen. It's easy to type on, just like you would a normal keyboard, so you don't really feel like you're typing on a netbook. That's great. And as for the screen, it's LED and has a higher resolution than most netbooks, and looks great and has a lot of room to work, which is awesome when you're on your computation device. Overall, the interface is okay, but HP really needs to do something about their touchpads.
Right. Well, the thing that really sets this HP apart, I think, from most netbooks, it has the NVIDIA Ion sticker on top. But more importantly than that, it has the chipset inside, which is good. And it's good for smooth video playback or even playing PC games.
Yeah.
Ion there. Does it really work as claimed?
It really does. Back in my day, we called this a difference engine. Now, this is the only netbook we've tested that can fully complete the PC Mark V benchmarks, which is a feat in and of itself. Had a respectable score of about 2,100 points. That means a lot to you if you know what that means. Booting up takes a little longer than we'd like, about 1:40, which is pretty slow. But once you're on, you're flying. I mean, games like Counter-Strike Source and Call of Duty 4, fully playable at 800 by 600, which is huge news. I mean, taking on a plane, you're playing a game, it's awesome. And those are amazing specs to have on a little guy like this.
And we actually have the lowest specs you can get on this netbook. We gave it a gig of RAM, 160 gig hard drive, and it's still super fast.
Yep.
$400.
Yep.
Is it worth it at that price?
Absolutely worth it, Kevin. Just imagine for a second with your thinking brain how fast this would be if you paid a little extra for the 3 gigs and stopped being such a cheap bastard. You got some RAM and a solid-state drive in there. It'd be awesome. Either way, at this price, we are definitely impressed with the 311's performance. Even though the touchpad's a little bit wonky, it is a buy. I am done. So long. Move on.
Chris Hardwick, everybody. Hey. Hey, be sure to tune in Monday when TV Week begins in our Gadget Prawn Holiday Gift Guide.
And we're starting things off with the Panasonic 50-inch G10 Plasma. It's got a dynamic contrast ratio of 2 million to 1.
What? That's a lot to 1.
It only gets better from there, people. Now, still ahead, the one and only James Cameron will join us in the studio to talk about 3D filmmaking and Avatar.
And later, we're going to hop into the old AOTS Wayback Machine for a classic from 2005. That was like 20 years ago.
That was.
It's a Star Wars Imperial recruitment commercial, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Today's Road Report is brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
To raise money for charity. A pub crawl dressed as Santa.
Oh, yeah. Beats the hell out of a mathathon.
Totally.
Nerds.
What's up, Attack of the Show? This is Kyle Harvey coming to you from sunny Stamford, Connecticut. We're here at the 2nd annual Stamford Santa Pub Crawl. This year, we're going to give money to the Lufgarten Foundation for Pancreatic Cancer Research. Now, it's going to be a really fun day. You're going to see a lot of costumes. You're going to drink a lot of booze, hit a lot of bars. Olivia and Kevin might be joining us, so let's go see what's up.
Today, we are at Butterfield 8. We've got about 200 Santas that are showing up today, and it should be a really good time, a really good turnout.
So we moved along to yet another bar. This one's more like your typical Irish pub. It's very, very quaint. They serve the best pint of Guinness I've ever had. And people really like to come in here and just relax and have a great time. As we go down from bar to bar, there's more and more Santas helpers. Everybody's having an amazing time. It's going to be an absolutely unbelievable event.
The reason why I came up here is because of cancer research. I actually drove 12 hours from Wilmington, North Carolina. These guys are amazing folks.
So that's it for the second annual Stanford Santa Pub Crawl. I want to thank Olivia, I want to thank Kevin, and I want to thank everybody that participated for making this a huge, huge success. And also a big thank you to Attack of the Show for making us part of their viewer army. Happy holidays. Take care, guys.
Santa Claus Pub Crawl rules!
Congrats to Kyle Harvey and his Santas. They were able to raise over $600 for charity just by drinking.
Yeah, that's how you do it. And if you want to enlist in our viewer army and actually cover an event for us, go to g4tv.com/AOTS viewer army.
And just a heads up, if you get hurt in the line of duty, you will be left behind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't really...
Yeah. Oh.
Doug, what are you...
Doug?
What are you doing, buddy? Really?
I'm doing what anybody does when they go camping. I'm making pancakes.
Oh, what kind of pancakes?
No, don't encourage...
I love pancakes.
No, Doug, you can't make pancakes in the studio. I mean, it's going to distract the crew and be a big mess.
You don't think what you're doing is distracting the crew and making a big mess?
Well, no, this is why the crew's here. We're filming our special. We're not...
Blueberries.
You have blueberries?
Yeah, I do.
Those are my favorite kind of pancakes.
Okay, again, Allison, please stop. Just stop. I'm glad you have blueberries. Did you find out what your show is on, Doug? Do you know yet? Really?
Oh, I thought you were looking into that.
No. No, I'm doing the damn best of... No.
Well, then I don't know yet.
Okay, is that really helping?
He's totally making blueberry pancakes.
Doug, get back in your damn tent. I'm sorry. We gotta...
But the blueberry pancakes.
Okay. Doug. Oh, don't know. Oh, no, I'm the ass. Okay.
Add chocolate chips to them, too. Those are the best.
Tomorrow night at 6, make sure to tune in for American Ninja Warrior.
I actually heard a rumor about American Ninja Warrior
what'd you hear?
that really fast run times are going to be set tomorrow, perhaps, by veterans Levi Muenberg and Brian Orozco.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Really interesting, because I actually heard a rumor that the show is the conclusion of the semifinals and finals, and then we're off to Japan to run the infamous Ninja Warrior course at Mount Midoriyama. That's what I heard.
That's a very specific rumor.
Well, that's why I believe it.
Ah. All right. Well, now it's time for a man who needs no introduction.
You said he didn't need an introduction.
Okay, right, but the viewer should probably know who's coming up.
Oh, that would sound like an introduction then, wouldn't it?
Okay, fine.
That's what it sounds
Fine,
like to me.
Pereira, fine. He needs an introduction.
Thank you.
It's James Cameron.
Do not look in her eye. Cézé. Down, Cézé. Ikran is not horse. When Sahelu is made, Ikran will fly with only one hunter in the whole life. To become Aronyu, hunter, you must choose your own Ikran, and he must choose you.
When?
When you are ready.
Joining me now, ladies and gentlemen, James Cameron is here.
We got some fans here.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you... All right. Normally it's like a, I am interviewing like a midget on a tricycle dressed as a Dalmatian, and so there's 4 people here. The entire 4 square blocks around our studio is here for you today, James. So.
I know, how much do you have to pay them to do?
Well, no, they actually paid me.
Paid mourners. No,
I'm finally getting a salary today.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. Really, it's an honor and a privilege to chat with you, because for years I've wanted to ask why Rose just didn't get off the damn board and share it with Leo for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What was the problem?
Yeah.
She could have. She was so selfish, and Leo's at the bottom. Now she's throwing jewels into the ocean because she's all alone.
You know, I didn't think of that.
Okay, I'm just saying. You may want to go back if there's a Blu-ray special.
Because, you know, it didn't really work out that well.
No,
you know, and I'm always looking for ways to punch up that movie, make it a little better. Because, you know, we only made it to 1.8 billion.
That was it.
You know, and it's that last couple hundred million that just really drives me nuts.
I did an exit surveyor 12, and most people thought that was the major flaw. I'm sorry, but now you know.
Actually, honestly, most people thought that the major flaw was that she threw the diamond away. They're like, what?
What woman would do that?
We actually were going to shoot an alternate ending where Louis Abernathy, the big guy on the ship, actually hoses her with an Uzi before she can throw it in slow motion.
Exactly.
And show it to Fox and say, I've got this great idea for the end. Hey, check this out.
Right. No one will expect this.
Yeah,
then he's going to take all the other jewelry and cash for gold it. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
We're going to make so much money off the integration. Avatar is a project that has been, what, 15 years in the making?
Well, I mean, technically, I've been imagining this movie since I was a kid, and I saw my first like Ray Harryhausen films, you know. But yeah, 15 years since I wrote it, and 4.5 years of like full-time working on it.
And since the Harryhausen days, I mean, stop motion is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Clay models are cool.
Yeah, they're cool, but they're very obsolete looking now.
Oh yeah.
And it's I mean, when I look at it now, I still feel the magic that I felt as a kid, but we've come so light years beyond that now.
Well, even 15 years ago, you're watching a movie like Lawnmower Man and counting the polygons in his face and going, wow, that kind of looks like a pancake with eyes, but that's future. That's going to be awesome.
That's the future.
How has it changed just in the last 4 years since you've really been ramping up production?
Yeah, well, look, the curve has been steadily going up from the time I founded Digital Domain with Stan Winston to actually push the art of CG character creation. We saw it sort of steadily going upward. And I actually sort of got off that. I assumed it would continue to go. I sort of got off that for a few years to do deep ocean expeditions and to work on the 3D camera technology. Let the CG just kind of continue to move forward. Lots of filmmakers doing it, pushing it forward. And then so in 05, I just kind of took a snapshot of where we were, and I thought, all right, we're not there yet. We're not there for what we need to do for Avatar, but we can get there. And the trick is when you can get there within a single production, during that production cycle, then it's time to move. And that's what we did on T2. We knew we could get there to what we needed to do within that one movie, within that year.
And you take a break and you're like, I would love to slap a saddle on a meteor and ride it into the sun. That technology doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You wanted to use 3D cameras with servos in them, and you're like, I should go make those 3D cameras, and you did, right?
Yeah.
What tools didn't exist to create your vision that you had to actually make yourself?
Well, the 3D camera stuff I started in 2000 with Vince Pace, who's got an engineering camera company, and we just started slapping 2 HD cameras side by side. Started with the simplest, dumbest approach, and then we slowly evolved it over time to adding convergence capability, uncoupling all the record capability from the sensor head, you know, really refining the servos that drive the lensing, so that and then we went to the next step, which is to put it into a beam splitter configuration, so we could have complete control of the interocular distance, like the distance between your eyes. Right, and the toe in. So now we have complete control of stereo space in real time in a networked camera system that can have multiple cameras. We're like good to go for production. This was around in 06. So we actually just sort of barely got the system ready to do Avatar, and then shot Avatar.
And our audience at home is playing that answer over and over again in slow motion and setting it to their favorite Color Me Bads, especially because they love it in a way that they shouldn't. And I'm sorry, James, but thank you for giving it. I have a lot more to ask.
I can do the rap version if you want.
What? No. This we can get you a beat. We will make that happen, and then we'll let you hit Uncle Ted with a folding chair as well.
Can I?
But we have to do it. Yes, if you want.
I'm into it.
We have to do it after the break, though.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. More with James Cameron to talk about Avatar, the movie, and why my mom is going to go see it. Stick around, everybody.
En vivo, Givor presenta El Gigador contra El Nerdo Loco.
We'd like to talk to you about a fresh start on a new world.
Welcome to Pandora.
You look like a were-smurf. You look like Braveheart with boobs.
I'm gonna kill all y'all blue-skinned cat muckers.
I'll see that in 3D IMAX.
You're probably going to ask me why we did the CG on the film and all the advances.
Yeah.
Because that's what it would have looked like.
Excuse me. I'll have you know, that took 3 fresh out of high school After Effects artists working round the clock to do over a weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
The Mountain Dew budget alone is impressive for this network. That was our biggest production of all time. So you're totally right about the way it looked. James Cameron, everybody, we're back. China Tag of the show. I want to ask very quickly before we actually talk about what Avatar is. I know we nerd out on the technology, but that's what we love here.
Right.
But when it comes to 3D filmmaking, in your hands, revolutionary. And if the Peter Jacksons and the Steven Spielbergs, who I know visited your set, I don't know if they bought 12 on site. I don't know if they just took out wad of cash.
They drove it off the
made
lot.
it rain.
Yeah.
Put it in the F-150. I'll do something with it later. In their hands, it'll be revolutionary. Do you worry about like the Wayans brothers getting a hold of this technology?
Yeah.
Do you worry about it becoming like? Because right now, 3D IMAX films, that's a tentpole event, something I want to go see, I want to experience. Do you worry about it becoming a gimmick in
I worry about
hands?
you guys with that technology.
We will never. We're as standard def as it gets. We have a Betamax box set that's out in stores now, so you don't have to worry about us. But do you worry about it becoming a gimmick before it has a chance to be as revolutionary as it should be?
Well, if you're talking about the CG part of it or the 3D part?
The 3D part. You know,
well,
all these theaters are transitioning.
The 3D part started as a gimmick. It started with, you know, like all the cheesy horror movies in the 50s, and then it sort of came back as, you know, the stewardesses in 3D and stuff like that. It's always been kind of cheesy, and then in the last few years, you know, it's evolved into something actually quite respectable with great projection, great stereo space, but it's been sort of relegated still to animated films, and they've always got stuff like soap bubbles floating around, or
a bag of gumballs. It's flying at the screen.
Yeah, and I love Monsters vs. Aliens. I thought it was great, but you know, they did the old homage, you know, with the guy with the paddle ball, right? So you know, to me, the trick to this and what you'll see in Avatar is after a while you just forget you're wearing the 3D glasses. We're not constantly reminding you. We're not bouncing crap off your forehead every 10 seconds, you know. And it has you know, people use the word immersive or whatever. The way I like to think of it is kind of somewhere at arm's length in your mental picture of the world. There's a window, and right on the other side of that window is a reality. And after a while, the frame of that window kind of disappears in your consciousness, and you're through that window into that reality, and that's what it's like.
Well, for the record, a friend of mine who did see a screening in 3D, he's into some medicinal stuff. He sent me a review, and it simply said, "Dude," and it was like there was probably like 45 U's in this one text message, which tells me he forgot he was sitting in a theater.
That's awesome. So you know, that beats the New Yorker review and the LA Times review. And
I agree as well. With a film of this epic scale and scope, how do you distill it down to, all right, here's what the movie is?
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that. I mean, honestly, you have people walking out of the theater saying, "I can't describe what I just saw."
Right.
You know, and I was
I get it.
I'm at the after party of the premiere last night, and about 15 people in a row come up and say, "I'm speechless." It's like, how am I going to have any word of mouth when everybody's speechless? Right. You know? It's like, find the words, okay? Just, you know, as I say to my 3-year-old, use your words. Okay.
Yeah, that's how you have to treat the Twitter audience. Okay, guys, you have 140 characters. Use 4.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's ellipses, but make a smiley face at the end of it. Let them know you enjoyed it.
Right.
And when you design, like Natiri, pretty damn sexy.
She's hot.
Yeah, to say the least. Did you? I gotta ask. Would you?
Okay, we had an all-male design team, and that was the requirement. She had to be blankable.
Is that what the design jock said?
It was written up overhead. She's got to be blankable.
Well, I think we could drop the mission accomplished banner because I totally would, James.
Yeah, except she's 10 feet tall, and what guy would
just know you know that's the Photoshop that I made specifically for you. That's
so this is
me
a
with your
wish
creation.
fulfillment.
Right, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I write /fiction in my spare time, and that's some of the animation. Was that really one of the design goals? You said to the team, "Hey, listen, we want to make," because you designed everything in this, from flora to fauna to blankable species.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I didn't personally design it. I had a great team of world-class design artists, you know, and they were all completely gung-ho to create a planet. You know, I mean, what could be cooler than that? You know, that's why I wanted to make this movie, was the design part of it, which took us 2 years. But you know, as we were exploring, you know, what do these big blue alien people look like? You know, we had gills, we had horns, we had all kinds of weird stuff, and I kept saying, look, it's got a love story in it. You've got to wanna her.
Yeah. Well, the members of GillenHornFetish.org are all very sad that you didn't do that right now because they were really hoping for that.
We'll
design.
post some of the early designs online for
you got to.
them.
I mean, when a movie's released on like a Blu-ray and you have the behind the scenes, the extra features, you've got enough to probably fill a Criterion collection just of the stuff that didn't make it, right?
A lot of stuff. Because, look, we were going for the best of the best, the distillation of the best ideas. So we looked at a lot of things. We even shot some scenes. We even finished some scenes up to the level before we gave them to Weta Digital to go photoreal on, which took them like a year from the time we'd finish the scene and give it to them. And so there will be some finished scenes at a template level, which some people call previs, but we didn't because it was beyond previs. It was actually my finished cameras, as I operated the camera, just got applied to the Maya files later from the motion builder files that we worked in, which is our real-time, we use it as a real-time render engine.
Well, when this thing does come out on Blu-ray and people are watching it in the homes, let's say next year, I'm assuming, 2010, CES is coming up, there's going to be a big push for 3D in the home, 3D TVs.
Yeah, it's happening.
Are you on board for that, or do you think it's still too early for the living room?
It's not too early. I think it's going to be great. I've seen some of the sets. Panasonic's got a good one. There are a number of LGs coming out with one. Sony is on board with this. There's going to be a tremendous amount of 3D everybody's going to be scrambling around for 3D content.
Sure.
We can't make these big blockbuster movies fast enough. So I think as it comes into the home, initially it's going to be sports, and I think it could be gaming as well.
I think it'll definitely be
the
gaming,
Avatar game is the first stereoscopic 3D console game. There were some PC games back 10 years ago and so on. Not to throw them under the bus, but
no, the people that early adopted are still suffering the migraines from them, so it's okay. They're still in a seizure mode, so it's all right.
But the Avatar game is a kick in 3D, and I just can't imagine anybody who's a serious gamer not wanting to get into the world of their game in a much more immersive way. So I think that's going to drive it. I think sports is going to drive it, and then eventually it'll be broadcast and cable network stuff, and scripted and unscripted, and then pretty soon it's going to be just everything.
Then it's just everything's 3D, and there you have it.
And everything on your big wall screen. But then I think it's quickly going to get adopted down to smaller devices.
The mobile
it works
space,
beautifully on a laptop, because if you think about it, the laptop environment is a single user environment. You orient it to the sweet spot, right? Well, that's what you do for an auto stereoscopic 3D display. You got to orient yourself to it so you don't have to wear the glasses. Well, that's called a laptop last time I checked. So, and the other thing is, the smaller the display area, the more having Z depth to kind of sort and stack stuff behind stuff, windows behind windows, and all that sort of thing actually will kind of make some sense. So I think smaller devices are going to really profit from this as it starts to. It's going to come blowing in pretty fast here over the next couple of years, 2 or 3 years.
An answer of that breadth and technical know-how, I think, can only be followed up by smashing Drunkle Ted with a chair. If you want to get in there, James.
Yeah. Let's do it.
By all means, of course. This is, it's only a shame that we aren't in 3D, so.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not see Avatar, this will happen to you.
I've never actually hit anybody with a chair, and I've always wanted to. All right?
After you, sir.
Here we go.
James, thank you for joining us. You guys, Avatar opens in theaters tomorrow. James, friggin' Cameron, everybody! You keep that. That is yours.
Epic.
Boom.
James Cameron may have just changed movies forever.
Well, he just changed Drunkle Ted forever, that's for sure.
Totally did.
Rearranged him.
Now, still ahead, an AOTS classic from November of 2005.
The Imperial Army wants you. Stick around, everybody.
Coming up Monday on an all-new Attack of the Show, TV Week begins in our Gadget Prawn Holiday Gift Guide, and we're starting things off with the new Panasonic 50-inch G10 Plasma. Plus, director Terry Gilliam joins us in studio to talk about his new movie, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. And Chris Gore will join us with his favorite holiday films on a special edition of DV Doomsday. See it Monday.
The secret AOTS bunker. It's a mile beneath the studio.
Give or take, yeah.
It's really secret.
This one is from 2005 when we unearthed a recruitment video. It's a commercial for the Imperial Army from Star Wars.
Couldn't Vader just use the Force to make everyone join?
Commercials are way more effective.
Touche.
Yeah.
Why did I become an Imperial soldier? Let's just say I was made to do this. I've seen the entire galaxy, from Ord Mantell to Dantooine. This is a brave new world, and I'm on the front line. That guy next to you, he's not just a fellow soldier, he's like a brother. Same with the guy next to him, and the guy next to him. Sure, it gets rough sometimes, but that's what we do. We keep the peace, and we keep people safe. Hey, they might not like it, and they might resist, but in the long run, we know what's best for them. How do I know? Because I'm an Imperial Stormtrooper, and I make a difference.
The Imperial Army. Protect, serve, and quell. That's who we are, that's what we do. An army of one.
With that one.
Never met a finer group of cosplayers.
They're incredible.
Those boys. Hey, before we break for the New Year's, I just want to say that my New Year's resolution is to give up resolutions.
That's a great resolution.
I think so, yeah.
But we are interested to hear what you guys are giving up this year. So give us a call at 805-268-7123. Tell us what you're giving up and why.
Yes, and be prepared to show your work. Again, the number, 805-268-7123. Again, mouth breathers, 805-268-7123. Those are the things that you push on the phone, and it makes the...
Dial it. What's that?
What do you think? Doug.
Yes, sir.
No, dude, what? Come on.
I didn't realize you guys are still doing this thing.
Okay, well...
How do you not
How long
realize
does this
it?
go on for?
Well, Doug, did you find out when your show's airing yet?
No, I asked around everywhere, and all I could get was this piece of paper with a bunch of weird symbols on it. I don't read Elvish, weirdo nerds.
Doug.
Oh, I totally can. Here,
No,
get it.
Allison, it's
Elvish.
have you tried turning the paper around, like the other way? What's it say now, Doug?
This December 28th, tune in to G4 for the High Road with Doug Benson. We follow Benson on a road trip through Idaho and Washington.
And?
Capturing him in the moment as he takes his stand-up act on the high road. Tune in 8 p.m. December 28th for the High Road with Doug Benson, only here on G4.
You did it!
He did it! Woo! All right, now let's go eat his pancakes.
Pancakes!
Pancakes! We're all gonna get laid!
Pancakes!
Go to the allnewg4tv.com/AOTS.
Pancake fight!
For all the things you saw today and more. X-Play starts right now. Good night, everybody.